Your past is a gift. Okay, so the message I have for you today is about when we are growing up and we are taught to judge from a very young age. Now, what happens is the grown-ups, for most of us, for most of us growing up, I'm talking about, my childhood and from what I can see of the world around me, how parents and children are interacting with the world, that what happens is we watch the grown-ups around us always criticizing others, either criticizing that person's overweight or criticizing that person is different in some way, whichever way that may be, that they're criticizing that person. And so from very young, we're taught to look outside of ourselves and look at other people and judge what is different about them compared to us, you see. And so when you grow up with this view of the world, you not only learn to look at the defects, if you want to call it that way, or how other people are defective, compared to you, but you also start to look at yourself in that way. You start to look at how you don't measure up because of this way of being brought up, of always judging and criticizing others. And so what happens is, with this view of the world, we're always focusing on what's wrong. We're always focusing on what's ugly. We're always focusing on what's different compared to us. And we focus on different as if different is wrong, as if different is a bad thing, right? Because that's what criticism comes from. It's when you criticize something because it's not the same. It's not what you accept as being right or acceptable in your home, or, all these things. So once you get on this train of criticizing others and judging others, because this is what you're watching all the grown-ups around you doing, eventually it turns to you. You learn to start criticizing. You learn to start judging. Not just those outside of you, but you also start to look at yourself and how you don't measure up. And the problem with this is that we're always looking at the negative. We're always looking at, the weaknesses in others and the weaknesses in ourselves, instead of looking at the strengths, instead of looking at the beauty in others, instead of admiring and aspiring to, these sorts of thoughts. We look at the negative. We look at that it's bad or that it's wrong. So today, I want you to think about that. I want you to think about how many thoughts you have throughout the day that are judging others or criticizing others. And more importantly, I want you to start thinking about your thoughts about yourself. How many thoughts throughout your day are you judging yourself for not being good enough in some way? Because this is what it ends up pointing to. When we learn to judge, when we learn to criticize others, and then we learn to judge and criticize ourselves, it's always about not being good enough. So how many thoughts throughout the day do you have where you feel that you're not good enough in some way, or you don't measure up in some way? How often in the day do you criticize yourself for not being good enough? So I really want you to think about this today and take this message to heart, that as long as you're focusing on criticizing and judging, you're always looking at the negative, not just of those outside of you, but also for yourself. You're looking at all the negative things about yourself because you've not been taught to look at, the beauty within each person, the beauty within everything. We're not taught to look at what's right. or what's good about other people when we grow up, in this environment of judging and criticizing. So I want you to really think about that today. And there'll be more videos on this to help you release those thoughts, get away from looking at the world in that way, because as long as you keep doing that, you're trapped. You're trapped. All right, my darlings, remember to click like and subscribe below for more videos, and I'll see you in the next video, okay? Thanks for watching. Bye for now.